In the past week, I have had the same problem come to me twice. And I just decided to hop on and make this one of my posts, and I hope it helps. Two different people have come to me in the last week and they're having car problems. And both people have taken their car to a trusted mechanic, and the trusted mechanic has said, hey, you need to do this. And both times, the trusted mechanic has come back and been like, actually, you need to do something else also. And one of those was $1,000 and one of those was $1,500. And both of them did not resolve the problem. Now, I buy a lot of cars with Turo. I buy a lot of cars. I've got 23 cars on that platform. Over the course of my life, I've had quite a few cars above and beyond that. And the bottom line is, if I did not have bad luck with cars, I have no luck at all. The truth is, I have terrible luck with cars. I took an automotive class in college and I learned exactly three things. Number one, I'm terrible at that. I have no reason to be a mechanic, so I did something else with my life. Number two, if there is a mistake that can happen and there's bad luck that can be had with a vehicle, it's gonna be me. And number three, I'm much better at destroying things than creating things, turns out. And so with that being the case, my older brother, at that same time in life, he was becoming a mechanic, he was doing mechanical engineering, he actually recommended the class. And the long and the short is, he ended up working for a company called Firestone Tire. Now, Firestone is not a sponsor. Maybe at some future point they will be, but right now this channel's tiny. And my goal with this is just to help save you some dang money. Firestone has some very unique features to it because it's one of the only nationwide mechanics that there is. One of the things I love is you can walk into a Firestone any day. Let's say that your car's got problems and you just don't know what it is. Now, if your tie rod is snapped off and your wheel's hanging off, you can say, hey, I need probably new tie rod, new suspension, new whatever. But if your car's having issues and you don't know what it is, my pastor came to me this week, he's like, hey, I'm having electrical gremlins, this and that, right? He doesn't know what's wrong. A good friend of mine came to me this week and he said, hey, my Volkswagen Jetta, it went into limp mode and is like shaking like a dying horse, right? Like they don't know what's wrong. And so they both took these cars in, and the Volkswagen Jetta, the Volkswagen dealership in our region was like, okay, it's gonna be $1,100 to fix it. And then as soon as they had spent $1,100, he's like, hey, it's gonna be $1,300 more to fix it. And so they kind of took the weekend. They thought about it and prayed about it, and they decided to plug this stuff into ChatGPT. And they plugged the stuff into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT spat out and said, hey, you shouldn't be doing any of this crap. You need to do a compression test on your cylinders to make sure your engine's not jacked. And so they said to the mechanic, hey, we want this compression test done. And they did a compression test, bam, dead engine. This mechanic had already charged $1,100 or something and was wanting another $1,300 to throw darts at a freaking board at the expense of my friend. This post is to help you learn something that I've learned that saved me thousands and thousands of dollars. Now, if you are new to the channel, let me give you a brief walkthrough of what we do. This is an entrepreneurship-based channel, but I try to share as much good knowledge as I can. My experience building between 17 and 30 companies, depending on how you count. If I was to start anywhere on the channel right now that you might think is interesting, I would actually start right here with Trump's Tariffs Explained. I own a bandage company. We manufacture in China and we import to the US. So the day after Liberation Day, I walked through all the intricacies of how Trump's tariffs would affect us importing from China. It's a really interesting video. It affects our product cost, building supply chains, how we price our product in the market, how those prices would have to adjust, how tariffs really express themselves for the normal consumer. I tried to even take it a little bit broader with my financial services background. I spent a decade in financial advice advising on like $300 million. I tried to even help understand how it's going to affect national security, foreign relations, looking back on how the first Trump tariffs worked over time. It was a really fun video. It was a really cool video, and it got a ton of views for our channel. Plus, I think it's maybe the best video that I've seen from anyone explaining how tariffs work and how they're affecting the economy and why they're so nebulous to put your finger on. If you're ever interested in Turo, hey, this guy's going to explain kind of every single detail from the mind of someone who's started a bunch of businesses, not just one business, and from the mind of someone who's advised on a bunch of wealth, not just his own wealth, and who's, grown a couple $1 million businesses, lost it all, grown it all, lost it all a couple of times. In this video, we discuss why gold isn't actually a very good retirement asset. It's become kind of US standard financial advice that, hey, if you're concerned about inflation, just buy gold. That's terrible retirement advice. I don't care what anyone says. My firm, Bedrock, has bought over 5,000 pieces of single-family residential real estate. We talk about why single-family residential real estate is fundamentally a better retirement asset than gold is in every way, shape, or form. That's actually those two videos. This one, we're rehabbing a $1 million property. We're putting about $1.5 million into it. We're letting people watch start to finish. This one's just some more financial advice. What if rates go down? What if I'm sitting on the sidelines waiting to get into the real estate market? One of our properties that we oversee for one of our Bedrock investors got shot 67 times. As you can see, the channel's not just this one thing you're watching. It's not just entrepreneurship, right? It's all the different aspects of 7 different companies that I own. It's different overlays of the decade I spent in financial advice, advising on over $300 million. This channel is me trying to give as much good information as I can for free to do some good in the world. If that interests you, please do like and subscribe. It helps in every way that we need to grow the channel, to get more good done out in the world. Thank you guys so much. This mechanic had already charged $1,100 or something and was wanting another $1,300 to throw darts at a freaking board at the expense of my friend. This post is to help you learn something that I've learned that saved me thousands and thousands of dollars. If you walk into a Firestone tire anywhere in the country, sorry Utah, you don't have any, but anywhere in the country, basically, you can find a Firestone within, 15 minutes of you. And you walk in with a car that is broken and say, hey, I need you all to do a diagnostic. Firestone lets you pay for like a $120 diagnostic. And from that point on, they offer what is called a fixed right guarantee. Now, a fixed right guarantee means if you pay the $120, we will know what is wrong with it. We will figure that out for $120. And if you do what we tell you, if we tell you the blinker light fluid needs to be changed, right, for $1,300, and you say, okay, cool, I paid for a diagnostic, that gets me the fixed right guarantee, right? I'm gonna pay the $1,300 to fix my blinker light fluid or whatever the hell, right? If that does not fix the problem, they will either, 1, refund your $1,300, or 2, keep fixing the car for free until the problem is fixed. I have done this with my cars. I do this with my entire Turo fleet because I have had enough experience with Firestone that I know that in 2009, where we had just lost a real estate rehabbing business, and when we were broke, and just did not have the money to have a car go bad on us right then, I needed another car. And I went into I was looking at cars. I went into a Firestone. I did a pre-purchase inspection where they looked over the car and told me if it needed stuff. It needed tires, it needed oil, it needed fluid, it needed blah, blah, blah. They told me what it needed. And then the next day when I went back with that car that I had purchased, they said, hey, you need to see this. And they showed me that in the rear suspension, they had missed something that was fairly obvious, but they had missed something in the pre-purchase inspection. And I said, guys, I just bought this car off of your word that it was in decent shape. And they said, yeah, you're right. We should have caught that. Firestone wrote me a check for the entire purchase price of the car. Before I made this post, I called my brother, who's a manager at a Firestone, and I said, hey man, do I understand this corporate policy right? So I can let my people know that this is a way to save thousands of dollars and really a way to make sure you don't just get slammed with mystery fees when it comes to mechanics. And he's like, well, how do you understand it? I was like, you pay for the diagnostic, it guarantees whatever the repair is the repair. If they don't fix it, they give you your money back, or they keep fixing stuff for free until they get the repair. And he's like, yep, that's absolutely right. He's like, in fact, if I decide as a normal manager not to honor corporate policy, you can call my boss as a regional manager and he will reach straight through the phone into my bank account and he will take whatever amount of money it takes to fix this right out of my account. And he does not give 2 craps whether or not I get a bonus or not. So that's the way the policy is. And because Firestone is a nationwide company, their reputation matters more than a shop. And that's been my case. I've replaced an alternator in the Pacific Northwest and driven to Utah only to have that alternator die immediately. 200 miles. Firestone replaced it for free. I have done pre-vehicle inspections on at least 70 vehicles, knowing that if any of them missed something major, that they were going to back my play. And I have paid for hundreds of diagnostics and never once got stuck with an extra fee on top of what they said it was going to be. Let me help you save thousands of dollars. If it's a tie rod, feel free to take it to your local mechanic. If you know what is wrong, feel free to take it to your local mechanic. But if you've got a question about what is broken in your car, pay the $120, $130, $140 diagnostic fee and let Firestone guarantee the repair. It'll save you thousands. And in this economy, where everyone's tight, I hope and pray that this is a helpful piece of advice about something you didn't know. If this helps you, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I will keep trying to bring good knowledge and valuable knowledge every day. Love you guys. Have a good day.